Morning, Mr. John. Can we start the session?
Good morning, sir. Yes, sir. We can start the session now.
Yeah, we can proceed.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. Now we are going to start the session for the Wipro training. So yesterday, actually, we have seen two types of pattern, right? So two types of pattern questions we have seen yesterday. And in today's session, we are going to see some of the questions which are very important when you are just going with Wipro programming. So there will be two questions in programming. One question will be related to this type now we are going to see, and the next type will be somewhat advanced. Okay, so now let us just go inside the slide and we can just proceed with the question. So I hope you could see the question. So let me just read it for your reference. So the question is that the IT giant soft company Info has decided to transfer its message through the network using a new encryption technique. The company has decided to encrypt the data using the non-prime concept. The message is in the form of a number, and the sum of prime digits present in the message is used as the encryption key. Okay. So now we want to write an algorithm to determine the encryption key. In the input statement they have given, the input consists of an integer named called num message representing the numeric form of a message. So in the output we want to print an integer representing the encryption key. Okay, so these questions are very important and highly confidential, so that you just be attentive so that you can understand the questions. Okay, so there is a constraint that they are saying it starts from 0 and ends with 10 power 9. Okay, so this is the constraint they have given. And the next slide is showing you the input, sample input and the output. Okay, so in this question they have given a number. It is an integer which is 45673. Okay, so and the output is 10. The reason is the number of non-digit. Okay, you want to add the number of non-prime digits, and hence which gives the output. Okay, here it is 4, 5, 6, 7 and 3, right? So when you separate all the digits, you will be getting 4. So 4 is not a prime number, right? So you want to add 4 with the as a sum. Okay, so next 5 is a prime number, you cannot add it, but 6 is a non-prime number, so you can add it. So 4 plus 6 gives you 10. In the same way, 7 is not a prime number, and 3 is also, sorry, 7 is a prime number and 3 is also a prime number. So that you can just leave all those, and it is enough that when you add non-prime numbers alone, which is an encryption key we are going to give. So that here 6 plus 4 gives you 10. So that will be the solution for this particular program. Okay, so students, can you understand the question? Can you give me a reply whether you can understand this particular question, so that we can go up with the next step, we can move on with the logic of finding that. Okay, can you understand this question? You just type yes or no. Okay, Rohit is okay, it seems fine. Okay, Manisha is also okay with that. Okay, so okay, thank you guys. Okay, now we can just move on with the logical part. So let me share the Excel sheet with you so that you can understand easily. So here we are going to add sum of, okay, we are going to add the non-prime numbers. Okay, we are going to find the non-prime numbers and we are going to add it. Okay, so that is the question they have given. So now I have a question for you. Do you know what is a prime number? And can you give me some logic to find how we can say that it is a prime number or not a prime number, like that? So can you give me in that chat box? So what will be the logic for this in order to find how I can say it is not a prime number, like that? So I will give you 1 minute of time. You just kindly just make a text in the text box that how we can find what is a non-prime number. Okay, fine. Raha is giving the answer. It will be divided by 1 or itself. Okay. So if it is divided by 1 and also itself means we can say that it is a prime number, right? Fine. So this will be the logic. So in order to find this, we want to write a program. So the thing is that, for example, if you are taking a number 24 and we want to find whether this 24 is a prime number or not. Okay. So if there is a question like that, the thing you want to start with 1 and go up to 24. Okay. So you want to start with 1 and you want to keep on moving up to 24 and want to check whether the given number. Okay, so the given number is 24 actually, so it is here, it is 24. So 1 to 24 you want to check whether is there any divisibility for this number in between 1 and 24. So the consideration is from 2 to 23. Okay, it is not that you want to go up with 1 to 24. So 1 and 24 will always be divisible, right? So other than that, you want to check is there any other this 24 is divisible by any of these numbers. Okay, from 2 to 23 you want to check it. Okay, it means 2 to 23 means it is nothing but n minus 1. Okay, so if you consider 24 as n value, okay, you want to check up to n minus 1. You want to start with 2 and you want to check with n minus 1. Okay, so in order to check this, the same process will be taking place, right? So the thing is that you are going to check whether the if you keep this particular number as I. Okay, so you are going to check n whether n is divisible by I. Okay, so if it is divisible by I can say that it is not a prime number. Why? Because as you said before, the given number and one alone should be divisible by the given number, or else if any other number is dividing that, then I can say that it is not a prime number, right? So now here this is my logic. So in order to check this logic, I want to check with all the numbers. First I want to check with 2, I want to check with 3, I want to check with 4, 5, up to 23 I want to check. So in order to do the same process, we will be using for loop, right? So in this case, I'm just going up with a for loop starting with my initial value as 2. Okay, so I'm going to start with initial value as 2 and end with my value which is n minus 1. Okay, so that I will be starting from 2 and end with 23 for this particular question. So next thing, I'm just going to keep on adding my I value for every iteration. So then after then, inside this for loop, I'm going to check whether any of these numbers, which any of the I value is being divided by my number. Okay, so in order to check it, we will be using a conditional statement, right? So that I'm just using my if statement in order to check it. So when I just use my if statement and check it, I can say that if this condition satisfies, straight away I can say that it is not a prime number, right? Why? Because if any one of the number is divisible by in this range means I can straight away say that it is not a prime number. So that I'm just going to do one thing. So I'm going to make a temporary variable. Okay, naming it as temporary, which is equal to 0. Okay, so my temporary variable is initialized to 0, and here I'm just going to make if any of the number is divisible by this particular number, I can change my temp value. You may ask why we are using temp value. At last you can understand it. Okay, so here I'm just making my temp value as 1 and going to break the statement. Okay, so students, I hope you know what is a breaking statement. Okay, breaking statement is not for conditional statement. For if else and all, we will not use break. We will be using break statement for loop. Why? Because if this condition satisfies, for example, for number 2 comes inside and this condition satisfies means this break statement will be executed, right? When this break statement executed, this for loop will be broken down. Okay, so that this loop will be stopped up to that value itself. For example, actually we want to go from 2 to 23, right? So if 2 itself this condition satisfies means there itself this condition will be, this looping will be stopped, so that we can just come out of the loop. Okay, in the outside of the loop, I'm going to make another condition that if my temp value, okay, if my temp value is equal 1, I can straight away say that it is a prime. Okay, sorry, it is not a prime. Okay, I can straight away say that it is not a prime number. Why? Because as I said before, if any of the one number in these numbers is divisible, means it is not a prime number, right? So I can straight away say that it is a prime number. In the else statement, if my temp value is a 0 only, means if there is no change and this condition is not at all satisfied for the whole iteration, means I can straight away say that it is a prime number. Okay, so actually this will be the logic in order to find whether the given number is a prime number or not. Okay, so students, can you understand the logic? Why? Because we are going up to the programming part, so there will be, we will be adding the numbers. Okay, so can you understand this particular logic in order to how to find what is a prime number and how to find the prime numbers? Just give me a reply in the chat box. Okay, Deepak is okay, it seems fine. So I need a reply from everyone so that I can understand that you are just understanding my method. So that when I'm just asking you, so kindly give me a reply. Is it enough when you just give yes? Okay, fine. Okay, thank you guys. Yes, now we can just go up with the programming part. So let us see how to make a program for this particular question. So I hope my screen is visible to you. So here I'm just going to make a header file. So standard input, I just included my header file and going up with my function called prime. Okay, so I'm going to create a function called prime and going to get a number. Why I'm just creating this particular function? Because I will be giving a number and I will be keep on checking whether my given number is a prime or not. Okay, so in order to check that, I'm going to create a function called prime. Okay, in the main function. Okay, and after that I'm going to make a main function. In the main function, I'm going to declare a variable called a num. Okay, num means number. Okay, in order to get the input from the user, I'm just using my scanf statement and I will be getting my input from the user. So after getting this, I will be checking whether my given number is a prime number. So before checking that whether the given number is a prime number, I want to divide my numbers, right? So if I want to divide my number, why? Because I want to divide my numbers as a digits, right? So that is also a factor over here. For example, okay, for example, if I have a number called 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. So here I want to separate my numbers, okay. For example, I want to take like this. Okay, I want to separate my digits, means first of all I want to take my last digit. What is my last digit? My last digit is 4, right? So I want to take my 4, okay, 4, number 4 alone. Okay, so in order to take number 4 from 1, 2, 3, 4, so what is the logic I can use? Can anyone know this? Okay, is anyone know how to take the last digit of a number? Is anyone have any idea regarding this? How I can take my last digit of a number? So when I take this only, I can check whether my given number is a prime or not. So that only I'm asking this question. Is anyone who know? Yes, we can use modulo operator. Fine. Okay, Deepak is giving the answer. Fine. So we can use mod of 10, right? So when you use modulo division, we will be having the remainder. Okay. So the thing which is going to happen over here is when you just do modulo operator by 10, it means that you are going to divide 1234 by 10. So when you divide by 10, what will be the remainder of this? Actually, we are seeing the remainder over here. Okay, so the remainder will be 4. So that will be the answer for this. So that if my remainder is 4, I can straight away say that it will be my last digit, right? So for example, another example is that when you use mod operator by 100, then your remainder will be 34, right? So 34 will be the answer. Okay, so this will be the operation of mod. Okay, modulo division will be taking place like this only. So here my first step is to store my remainder value, which is nothing but my last digit. Okay, in order to store my last digit, I am using this particular operator. So here I have stored my last digit. Next thing, I want to check whether my last digit, okay, is a prime number or not. So that I will be using a function called prime. Okay, so I will be giving my input as a input as the remainder value. Okay, so num will not be given. I will be giving my input value as reminder. So I will be checking whether my given, okay, here in this case I will be checking whether 4 is a prime or not. Okay, if it is a prime, okay, if it is a prime, I will be not adding this particular number. If it is not a prime number, I will be adding with my value. Okay, it means that I will be creating a variable called sum, and I will be keep on adding my non-prime numbers. Since 4 is not a prime number, I will be taking the number 4 and will be adding with the this number. Initially my sum value will be equal to 0, right? So since it is equal to 0, I will be adding with this. So my present sum value will be equal to 4. Okay, so up to this, is this okay? Okay, fine. So up to this I have found the sum value, right? So after then, I don't want this number 4. Okay, I want to delete this number 4. I need only 1 2 3. Okay, so in this particular number 1 2 3 4, I need only 1 2 3. So is there any other logic, how I can get 1 2 3 alone? Students, if you know the logic, you can just yes. Okay, Deepak is very fast, it seems. Fine. So we can divide it by 10, right? So when you use modulo, you will be getting the remainder. In the same way, when you just use the normal division, okay, when you use normal division, we will be getting the quotient value, right? So actually we will be getting 123.4. Since it is an integer value, the decimal values will be rejected. So you will be having only the quotient value, which is the before the decimal value. So when I just, okay, when I just divide my num value with 10, I will be getting my quotient value, which is nothing but 1 2 3. Okay, so I have just rejected my fourth digit, which is nothing but number 4. Okay, so after doing this, I want to save this particular number in the number itself. Why? Because I just take fourth digit and store it in the number itself, so that my present, okay, my present num value will be 1 2 3. Okay, so when I just go on with looping, okay, when I just go on with looping, next third digit will be, sorry, next last digit will be taken, right? So what will be the next last digit? Next last digit is actually 3 now. So 3 will be taken as out. Okay, so this will be the next last digit, right? So 3 will be taken as a reminder now. And in the prime value, now I will just send 3 inside. Okay, I will just send 3 inside, and I will check whether my given number is a prime or not. So since 3 is a prime, this condition will not be satisfied, right? So here I will be making my if condition. So if this condition satisfies, I will be adding my somewhere, adding the number with the sum value, right? So here this condition will not be satisfied. So my sum value remains the same as the number 4. Okay, so after then I will be doing this operation, num equal to num by 10. It means that I'm just going to take my last digit. So 3 is also rejected, right? So since 3 is also rejected, my number value is now only 1 2. Okay, so in that, what will be the last digit? My last digit will be 2. So again I will be taking the number 2. So when I just take number 2 and check with this, okay, so when I just check with this, it is a, sorry, 2 is a prime number, right? So since 2 is a prime number, the condition will not be satisfied. So again my sum value remains the same. After then my num value, when I just divide it, I will be having 1. Okay, so now 1 will be my number. And what will be the last digit again? So only one number is present, so it will be the last digit. So again I will take 1 and check with it. Okay, so when I just check with it, 1 is also a prime number. So it is actually neither prime nor composite, so that I can just make it as prime itself. Okay, So since 1 is a prime, I can say that it is a prime number so that some value remains the same as 4. Okay. So after then, when you come over here, what will be the answer when I just divide 1 divided by 10? So when I divide it, I will be having actually 0.5, right? Sorry, 0.1, right? So I will be having 0.1. So since it is an integer value, I will be getting the answer as 0. Okay. So now my number value becomes as 0. So I can say my condition as, so when my number, okay, so when my number gets 0 means I want to come out of the loop. Okay. So that will be my condition for, I'm going to use while loop so that I can say my condition that, so whenever my number is not equal to 0, I can proceed with this particular process. So if my number is equal to 0, I can come out of the loop. Okay. So after coming out of the loop, I will be printing the value as value of sum. Okay. So what will be the value of sum now? It is actually 4, right? So 4 will be the output. Okay. So this is the whole logic for this particular program. Okay. So now let us just move on with the programming part and let us just go up with the answer. Okay. So let me just move over here. And here, as I said before, I'm going to use my while loop. And inside the while loop, I'm just going to give a condition that my number value should not be equal to 0. Okay. After then, I'm going to declare a variable called reminder. So there I'm just going to make the remainder value by dividing it by 10. So here we are just taking the last digit of a number, right? So I just make it as last digit. Okay. So this will be my last digit of a number. So in order to take the last digit, I'm just doing like this. And after then, as I said before, I want to go up with a condition saying that if my given number, okay, if my given number is a prime, I don't want to go up with adding it, right? So if it is not a prime number, so here I'm just going to give my reminder value and check whether my given, okay, so if my prime function, okay, if my prime function returns me 0, okay, if my prime function returns me 0, it means that it is not a prime, right? So since it is not a prime, I can say I can just add, okay, I can just declare a variable called sum and add my sum value with the reminder. So here, so that I will be keep on adding my sum, okay, sum of non-prime numbers. So here I'm just adding my sum of non-prime numbers. Okay, it is not prime numbers, it is non-prime numbers. So here you may have a doubt how we can check with this. So in order to check with this, we can just make the prime function first of all. Okay, so here I'm just going to make my prime function first. So my input is actually a number, right? So in order to check this number, going to declare a variable called I. So where I'm just going to use my I inside the for loop, as I said before, which will be used for a, okay, which will be used for finding the prime number. Okay, so here I will be starting my loop from 2 to n minus 1. Okay, so this is the condition which I've said you already, right? So to find the prime numbers. So inside this, there will be a if condition checking that whether my given number is divisible by any of these numbers. Okay, so if it is divisible by any of these numbers, I can straight away return the value as 0. Okay, so it means that what? It will be returned to 0 means my value will be returned to 0. I can straight away say that it is not a prime number. Or else, so if there is no any change, I can return my value as 1. So when 1 is returned to the function, it means that I can say it is a prime number. Okay, so this will be my condition. So this loop will be keep on going. For example, if you are having a number called 5, okay, I'm giving the input as 5 means this iteration will be starts from 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so totally we have 4 iterations over here, right? So sorry, n minus 1, right? So totally we have 3 iterations and it will be keep on starting. First of all, 5 will be checked with 2. So it is not actually equal to 0, right? So actually it will be equal to 1. So remainder will be 1. So this condition will not be satisfied. Next, again the loop will be going on where there is an increment, so that I will be checking with number 3. So when I just check with number 3, So the remainder again, it will be actually 2, right? So it is not equal to 0. So this condition also will not be satisfied. And then the iteration will be get incremented and 4 will be coming inside. So that also will not have a remainder. So the remainder will be actually 1. Okay. So that this condition is not satisfied. After then, here when it is incremented to 5, this condition will be failed. Okay. Actually, this condition will be failed. Okay. So since this condition is failed, it will be coming out of the loop. After coming out of the loop, the value will be returned as 1. So as I said before, when the value is returned as 1, I can say that it is a prime number, right? So now here I will be checking whether my returned value, okay, whether my returned value is equal to 0. So I can say that if it is equal to 0, it is a non-prime number, okay. So non-prime number, this is the condition for finding a non-prime number. So if it is a non-prime number, I can just add with the sum value, okay. So after doing this, I will be just dividing my number with number 10 in order to reduce the number of digits. So initially we have 4 digits and after then 3 digits, 2 digits, 1 digit like that, right? So in order to make this, I will be dividing my number with 10 and I will store the same value inside the number itself. Okay. So this will be keep on going and this loop will be keep on executing. Okay. After executing, at last, I will be printing my sum value. Okay, so here I will be printing my sum value, which is an integer, so that I use percentage %t. So I will be printing my sum value. So here I want to declare some values, right? So sum I want to declare and then I want to declare remainder value, right? So 3 variables I have used so that I have declared all the variables. So here I can say that removing last digit. Okay, so removing last digit. So this will be used for removing last digit. Okay, so totally we have 24 lines of coding, it seems. Okay, 25 lines of coding. Now up to this, the coding is has been over. Okay, so now let us check with the sample input and output. Okay, so the question, okay, in the question they have given 1 minute. Okay, 45673. Okay, so that will be the actual question they have given us 45673. So let us just check with that. Okay, so 45673 will be my input. So I want to check whether my given answer is 10. Okay, so actually we are getting 10, right? Since 4 and 6 alone is a non-prime number, we are getting the answer as 10. So now let us check with other numbers. Okay, so let us check with another input and check we are getting the right answer. Okay, now let us just check with different kinds of number. Just a minute, I will just share my screen. So here I'm going to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So 1 is a prime, 2 is a prime, 3 is a prime, 5 is a prime, 7 is a prime. So 4 plus 6 is 10, 10 plus 8 is 18, 18 plus 9 is 27. So our output should be 27. Okay. So actually we are getting the same output, right? So when you just add the non-prime numbers, I can straight away say that my answer is 27. So that will be my correct answer. Okay. So students, I need a reply from you now. So whether you can understand this particular program. Can we proceed with the next program? So kindly give me a reply whether you can understand it or else I should make the program again. Okay. Deepak, Raha, Manisha is okay, it seems. Is that everyone okay? I think there are few more still to. Okay. Tanish is also okay. Rohit is also okay. Fine. Good. So now let me ask a question. Okay. So this will be my next question. Actually, next program is also related to this. So here I just added my non-prime numbers, right? So here I want to add my prime numbers means what are all the changes I should do? Can anyone say? Here I can just make this function itself so that I want to add my prime numbers alone. Okay. In order to add prime numbers alone, what are all the changes I can make it over here? Can anyone say it if you know it? So I just need a reply from you. So here we have just added, okay, sum up non-prime numbers, right? So in order to sum up prime numbers alone, so what will be the change in this particular program? Can anyone say it? So I will give you 1 minute of time. So if anyone know it, you knows it, you just type it in the chat box. Okay, so there will be a small change in it. Okay, Rohit and Raha is giving the correct answer. Okay, fine. So I hope they have understood this particular program. Fine. Okay, it is right. So the thing is that here we are checking the if condition that whether my given number is a prime or not, right? So if it is equal to 0, I can say that it is a non-prime number. Then if it is equal to 1 means I can straight away say that it is a prime number, right? So in order to make this, I can just make it as it is a prime number. Okay. So if you want to add, the same process will be taking place. So here we can just add the prime numbers. Okay, so let me run this program and show you what will be the output for this. So we can take the same input. Okay, so we can take the same input and check with it so that you can understand clearly. Okay, fine. So here I'm just going to make the input as 54673. So here, what are all the prime numbers means 5, 7, 3 is a prime number. So totally 15 should be my output. So I'm getting the same output, right? So 15 is the sum of the prime numbers. In the same way, we can just go up with the next input so that you can understand more clearly. Okay, now let me just go up with the next input that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let me run this program again. So here, I'm going to check this number, whether it is equal, what will be the sum of prime numbers. Okay, so here, what are all the prime numbers? 1 is a prime, 2 is a prime, 3 is a prime, 4 is a prime, and 7 is a prime. So totally 15 and 15 plus 2, 17 and 18 should be my output. Okay, so I'm just getting my output as 18. Okay, so this will be my right answer. Okay, so students, I hope you can understand this particular program. So now let us just move on with the next program. Okay, so let me just make the changes since it is a non-prime number, right? So we can just save it like this. So 1 minute, we can just move on with the next program now. Okay, so this will be my next question. Okay, so I hope you could see it, but let me just make a passage. Okay, so here an e-commerce company plans to give their customers a special discount for the Christmas. So they are planning to offer a flat discount. The discount value is calculated as the sum of prime digits. Okay, so actually this question we have finished already. It seems okay. Fine. So we can just move on with this question. So here they are just asking you write an algorithm to decode the gate input. Okay. Here the input consists of an integer gate input representing the encoded gate value. Print the integer consisting of zeros and ones that representing the decoded gate input. So if you want to say this, okay, if you want to say this very easily means it is nothing but a decimal number will be given. You want to change it to the binary value. Okay, so is there anyone who don't know what is a binary value itself? Okay, so you just make a this program is already completed, sir. Okay, it seems we have completed already. Yeah. Okay, fine, so we can just move on with next program. Okay, so I hope this question you would have not completed, right? So can we just move on with this question? Is this question is completed already by any other trainers, or else we can just proceed with this? So Rohit, can you give me a reply whether this question is already been completed or not? Okay, fine. So we can just proceed with this question. So actually the question is, a company wishes to encode its data. The data is in the form of a number. Okay. So they wish to encode the data with the respective of to a specific digit. They wish to count the number of times specific digit. Okay. Find the number of times the specific digit reoccurs in the given data so that they can encode the data accordingly. Okay, so here we want to write an algorithm to find the count of the specific digit in a given data. So we can say that the input is consisting of two space separated integers, data and digit, okay, representing the data to be encoded and the digit is to be counted in the data. So there will be two integers. So they will be giving two integers. The first integer represents the number and the second digit represents the specific number. So you want to find how many times the given specific digit is reoccurrence. Okay, it is repeating in the given number. So for example, if you see the input, it is 5723782333, right? So totally they are asking you to find how many times the number 3 is being repeated. Okay, so totally 3 times number 3 is being repeated, right? So that will be the output of this program. You want to find how many times the given digit is being repeated. Okay, so students, can you understand this question? Can we move up with the logical part? Can you understand this question? Can we move up with the next part of this particular question? You just make a reply that whether you can understand or not. Okay, yes or no. Okay, fine. So if you don't know, you just kindly make a reply in the chat box so that I can just repeat you so that you can understand easily. Okay. Okay. Actually, Deepak is saying we have done this already also. So Deepak, I think some of the students is not known about this program. Okay. So Raha is also saying we have done this already. Seems. But I think some of them is not done with this program, it seems. Okay, so fine. So let me just give a small introduction and give a small logic out of it, and we can complete this program very fast. Okay, so I hope some of them know this question so that we can just make a revision. Okay, you just make it as a revision. So, since some of the students don't know this, so they can also understand it. Okay, so I will just move faster. Okay, fine. So as per this question, we want to find the number of digits repeated. Okay. So we can make this program as repeating numbers. Okay. So here a number will be given like this. Okay. So for example, it is 3343. Okay, 5. So here one number will be given as this. We can just make it as number. Okay, then we can make another number like rep. Okay, so rep, we want to find how many times it is repeated. So here I can give 3. Okay, so the question is to find how many times this 3 is repeated in this particular number. So here 3 times it is repeated, right? So if it is everything is 3, so that you may have confusion. So 4 times I just make it. So here my output will be 4. Okay, since this number 3 is repeated 4 times in this particular number, I can say that the output will be 4. So here we want to find this. Okay, so in order to find this, I can use the same method which we have used in the last program in order to separate the digits. Okay, so what are all the condition actually we have made is, we first of all we want to just make a while loop. Inside the while loop, I will be just removing my last digit, right? So in order to remove my last digit, I will be using num, okay, modulo operator to just make the last digit outside. And here comes the logic. So here I will be checking whether my last digit, okay, my remainder value is equal to the rep value. What will be the rep value? The rep value is the number of times it is repeating. So the number which is given to find how many times it is repeated, right? So I will be checking my remainder value with the rep value. If this condition satisfies, I will be incrementing my count value. Okay, so if this condition satisfies, I will be incrementing my count value. So when I just increment it, I can say that I can find that how many times it is repeated. And after then, I will be just divide my number with number 10, right? So that the last digit will be removed. So after this looping process is over, when I print my count value, it will be my output. Okay, so since here the count value will be 4. Why? Because the rep value is actually 3, right? So 3. So here it is actually a number which will be keep on dividing, so that we can find the number of times 3 is being repeated. So my count value will be 4. Okay, so now let us just go up with the programming part. I hope you know this logic already. So some of the students have already done this, so that they can also understand it. Okay, so now we can just move on with the programming part. So let me make a new file. So in the same way, I'm just going up with my header file, the same main function. So one function is enough to find the whole value, so that I'm just making only one main function. Okay, so inside this main function, I'm just going to make it as my I'm going to declare a variable called number, which will be the number given. Okay, then my rep value to find which number I want to find, how many times it is repeated. Okay, so after then I required my remainder value, and then I will be I will be going up with my scanf statement in order to get the input from the user. So totally I'm going to get two inputs from the user. One input is my number, and next input is my number, which is repeating value, which I want to find it. Okay, so two inputs from the user, and then I will be going up with my while statement. Okay, while looping statement, and going up with a condition called num is not equal to 0. Inside this, the same process which we have done in the last program, I'm just going to do. I will be taking the last digit outside. Okay, so I will be taking my last digit outside now. After doing this, I will be going up with checking. Okay, I will be going up with checking whether my given, okay, so the remainder value is equal to the rep value. Okay, if this condition satisfies, I will be incrementing my count value. Okay, so initially my count value will be equal to 0. So I want to declare it also. So I will be declaring my count value as 0 initially. And then here, if this condition satisfies, I can straight away say that my count value. Okay, now count value will be my output. Okay, so number of times repeated. Okay, number of times repeated. So in order to find how many times it is being repeated, I can use this. After doing this, here there is a comparison whether my given number and the last digit is actually the same. Okay, so if this condition is not satisfied, then I want to reduce my number with number 10, so that I will be dividing my given number with 10, and I will be storing the value which is coming out in the same variable called a number. Okay, so that I will be sure I will be rejecting. Okay, I will be rejecting my last digit. Okay, rejecting last digit. So last digit will be rejected. So here, after doing all this, I will be printing my count value. Okay, so when I just print my count value, I can straight away give the output which is required. Okay, so that's all the program is. So let us just go on with the output and check whether our given and our program is right or wrong. Okay, so let us check with the output now. So let me run this program. So 1 minute, actually there should be a semicolon. Okay, fine. So now let us go up with the output. So let me just go up with the input which we are going to give. So this will be my number and I'm going to find how many times 3 is being repeated. Okay, so totally as per this question, 3 is being repeated 2 times, right? So my output should be also 2. So we are getting the correct output. So 2 times will be actually 2 times the 3. Now the number 3 is being repeated. Okay, so that will be my output. So let us check with the input they have given. Okay, so let us check with the input they have given. So what will be the input? So let me just type the input they have given, sample input, and check whether our given answer is right or wrong. Okay, so 1 minute, let me see what is the actual input they have given. So they have given us 5, 7, 2, 3, 7, 8, 2, 3. Okay. So here we want to check how many times 3 has been repeated. So totally you can say that 3 has been repeated as 3 times. So 3 will be the output. So we have got the correct output as 3. Okay. So students, can you give me a reply whether you can understand this particular program? Can we move up with the next program? Can you understand this program also? Okay, fine. So I think you can understand this program also. We can just move on with the next program. Okay. 1 minute. Let me share my screen now. Okay, fine. So here there is another program. Okay, so there is another program which is related to the same program, but there is a small change in it. Okay, so in the last program, actually, we have seen how to find the number of okay, in a given number, how to find the repeating numbers. Okay, so that will be the last question, but in this question we are just having it. Okay, so when you just go through the question, we want to write an algorithm to find the count of the specific character. Okay, so here we want to find the number of times, how many number of times that particular specific character has been repeated in a given string. Okay, so the string is different when you compare to the numbers. Okay, number is very easy, that we can just take the last digit and check with it, but when you go up with the string, it is different. Okay, so in order to find this, there is a program. Okay, so can we proceed with this question? Can you understand the question? What actually they are just trying to say? Can you understand it? So if you just give me a yes, we can just move on with the logical part. So string is different from numbers, so that only I'm just taking this question. Okay, fine. So we can just move on with this question. So here, so in this question, as I said before, we want to find the repeating characters. Okay, so repeating characters. So last question is repeating numbers. So here it is repeating characters. So for example, if there is a question, so there is a string called have a good day. Okay, so have a good day will be the string. So if we want to get the string from the user, and another input user will be given which character is being repeated, you want to find. Okay, so here we want to find how many times a is being repeated in this particular string. So how many times actually it is being repeated? It is repeated. Okay, it has been repeated 3 times, right? So this will be the output for this question. Okay, so for have we have one a and have a. Okay, so there is another a, and in the word called day we have another a. So totally three number of a's. Okay, so totally three number of a's we have. So that will be the output for this question. So students, I will give you 2 minutes of time. Can anyone say what will be the logic and how we can just find the answer for this question? If anyone knows it, you just type it in the chat box. So how we can just find it? What will be the logic for this to find it? So if you don't know, you just type it as no like that. Why? Because I can say what will be the logic. Okay. If you need some time also, I can just give you so that you can just work out and okay, so fine. So let me just proceed with this question. So the thing is, we will be getting this particular string as one variable. Okay. So when you are just going up with string in C programming, we will be using arrays. Okay. So we can't take a word as such with a variable. Actually, we need a character array in order to get the word, right? So if it is a, okay, only a means we can just use a data type called character, so that we can store it in it. Okay, but in case of a word, okay, in case of a word, it is not that easy. Just you can just store it as such using a data type. So we need a character array. Okay, the first thing is that we should get the input from the user as a character array, and after then we will be running a loop. Okay, so when you just get the input from the user as a character array, actually it will be stored like this. Okay, HAVEAGO and OD, like that it will be keep on going. Okay, you just fill the remaining. So the index value will be starting from 0 and it will be keep on going up to the value which we are going to enter. Okay, so up to the value which we are going to enter. The thing is that here we are going to run a loop from 0 up to the last value. For example, here you just see here it will be going up to this, and after then for every string after the last character you will be having a character called null. Okay, you will be having a character called null. So null will be printed over here. So I can just make a condition that whenever my null, okay, whenever I get a null, I can say up to that I can run my loop, right? So here the null is coming in the index called 12. So I can just run the loop from 0 until I'm getting the value called null. Okay, so if I get a value null, I can stop up to that. Okay, so my for loop will be taken like this. Okay, starting from I equal to 0, and when my, okay, if I'm just creating a variable, okay, a character array as str of 100, okay, 100 will be my maximum length. Okay, str of 100 means, so this will be my string which I'm just going to get it from the user. Okay, so here I'm just going to keep my for loop, and my condition will be if my, okay, string of I is actually equal to null. Okay, so if it is actually equal to null, I can say that up to that I can stop it. Okay, after that I don't want to go it, since there will be no characters after that. So up to that I will be incrementing my for loop. Okay, inside the for loop, for every I means every index. Okay, for every index I will be checking whether, okay, I will be checking whether my given character, okay, given character is equal to this particular string. So character, actually a is a character, right? So I can straight away keep any variable like I can just take it as str of 1. Okay, str of 1 means the given value. So I will be checking whether this particular string value is equal to the given string. Okay, sorry, given character. So I will be checking that. So when it is equal, I can just increase my count value. Okay, so when I just increase my count value, I can say that how many times a has been printed. Okay, so in this question we can find how many times a has been printed. So straight away I can say that a has been printed 3 times. Okay, so now up to this, is there any other doubts you have? Why? Because we are just going to apply this logic to the program. So that I'm just asking you, is there any other doubts you have? So I hope Deepak have given. First have to find out the string length, then perform the logic. Okay, we can also find the string length and we can just do it, Rohit. It is also right. Okay, that it is all, it is an another method to find it, and we can do it in that way also. So Deepak is also giving in that way, it seems. Okay, fine. So Deepak is given, has given the logic correctly. Okay, fine. So students, can you understand this? Can we move on with the programming part? You just give me a yes whether you can understand it. So if you understand it, we can just move on with the programming part. Okay, Rohit and Deepak is okay, it seems. Okay, fine. I hope you guys know this question. Okay, Gupta is also okay, fine. And okay, I think Vivek is now only just replying to me. Okay, fine. It is good. Okay, Manisha is also okay with that. Okay, fine. We can just move on with the. So initially, I will be just declaring my header files and including my header files, right? So I just include my header file and go up with my main function itself. So that is enough. So inside this, I want to get, okay, I want to get an integer value for loop, and other two values are characters, right? So first character is str of 1, so which will be a character, and then I'm going to create an array, character array. So here I didn't declare any size for it. So in the scanf statement, I need, okay, first I need a string and then I need a character. Okay, so first I need a string, then I need a character. So in a string I will be just moving on with str, and for a character I will be just moving on with str of 1. So str of 1 is the character. We want to find how many times it is being repeated, right? So excluding this, I need a count value also. So in order to check how many times it has been repeated. So we have got two inputs from the user. Now let us just move on with the for loop. Okay, so in the for loop, I'm just going to check. I'm just going to start with my initial value as 0 and go up to my value gets to the null. Okay, so if my str of the string value, the character array goes to the null character, I can stop up to that. Okay, so when it is equal to my null value, I can stop up to that, and until that I will be keep on incrementing my values. Okay, so this will be my for loop statement. Inside this, I'm going to check with an if condition that if if my given character is equal to my character array value. Okay, so character array value, so which is nothing but str of I. Okay, so if it is equal to this particular value, I can just increase my count value. Okay, so if I just increase my count value, I can just print the count value at loss, right? So this for loop will be keep on running until I'm just getting my null value. Okay, so I can say that runs until sees the null. Okay, runs until sees the null. Okay, so here comparing, so here I'm just going to compare my comparing given character in a array. Okay, character in a array. So both characters are being checked, and here we will be getting number of times the given character has been repeated. Okay, so number of times the given character repeated. Okay, so that's all our program is. So here at last we want to just print the count value, which is an integer value, right? So when I just print my count value, let us check what is the answer actually we are getting. So let me just run this program first. Okay, so here okay, let us give a string of value 100. Okay, so now let us just move on with the output and check what will be our answer. So have a good day, right? So have a good day. So this will be our input, and here we are going to check with the character A. So we want to get the output as 3. So let us check whether we are getting the number 3. Okay, we have got number 3, right? So this will be our sample input, and we have got the output also. So now let us try with another input. Okay, so let us try with another input and check whether we are getting the right answer. Okay, so now I'm going to check with another input. So let me just run this program again. So we can have a welcome to Wipro training. Okay, so welcome to Wipro training. So let us find how many times I has been repeated. Okay, so how many times I has been repeated. So when you see logically, actually it has been repeated 1, 2, 3 times. Okay, so totally 3 times I has been repeated. So we can check whether we are getting the answer as 3. Okay, we are getting the answer as 3, right? So totally 3 times I has been repeated. So our output is right. Okay. So students, can you understand this particular question and this particular program? Can we proceed with the next program? You just give me a reply whether you can understand it, so that we can just move on with the next question. Okay, I hope Deepak and Gupta is have understood it. Manisha is also okay with it. Fine. Okay, I think only Vivek is not replied. Okay, it's okay, fine. So if you understand it, okay, fine. So let us just move on with the next question now. Okay, fine. So I think we can just proceed with this question. So this question is nothing but a sum of two maximum elements in an array. Okay. So if you read this question clearly, so they are asking you to write an algorithm to help the company to calculate the total sales value of the two highest selling products. Okay. So whenever you get a question in a Wipro, you just try to read it twice. Okay. So here they are not asking you to find the value of a largest element. Actually they are asked you to find value of two largest numbers. Okay, value of two largest numbers, and then you want to add it. Okay, so if you just go up with this uh, sample input and output, when you just see it, you just see, so the size of an array is actually 5, and 5 elements will be given it, and you want to find which value, okay, which is the greatest value. So actually greatest value is actually 45, right? So after then 26 will be the greatest value. So 45 plus 26 gives you the answer as 71. Okay, so that will be the answer for this particular program. Okay, so can we just go up with proceeding the logic? Okay, so we have done this one. Okay, it seems you have already done this. Okay, fine. So we can just move on with next question. So have you just come across this question? Finding the nth Fibonacci number. So you just give me a reply. Okay, I hope this one also you have completed, it seems, right? So Fibonacci number also you have completed. Okay, good. Then it is good, right? Fine. So sorting odd elements and even elements. Have you come across this question? Can we proceed with this question, students? Okay, I think this question also you have done it already, it seems. Okay, fine. So we can just move on with next question. Okay, these questions and all we have done it already. Okay. So have you come across how to reverse numbers? You just give me a reply whether have you come across questions how to reverse a number? Do you know how to reverse a number? If you know it, we can just move on with next question. Okay, Tanish Gupta is saying it is okay. You don't know. Okay, fine. So we can just move on with this question. Actually, this question comes actually how to reverse a number. Okay. So here in this question, they have given that the tourist country visa center generates the token number for its applicants from their application ID. Okay, so the application ID is a numerical value. So the token number is generated in the specific form. The even digits in the application are replaced by the one. Okay, and odd digits are the even digits in the application ID are replaced by digit 1 greater than the even digit, and odd digits in the application ID are replaced by the digit 1 lesser than the odd digit. The numeric value thus represents the token number of the application number. Okay, so we want to generate a number, and which is token number from the applicant ID. Okay, so actually this question is nothing but you want to make, okay. So the number will be given, okay, the number will be given if it is an odd digit, okay. So if it is an odd digit, you want to reduce one, okay, you want to reduce one. And if it is an even digit, you want to add one, okay. So that is the actual question. So after finishing this particular program, I will show you how we can just reverse a number, okay. Why? Because it is also a small program, we can just finish it very easily, and we can just move on with the next question, okay. So students, I hope you can understand this question, right? It is very easy. So here we want to find whether the given number is an the given digit is a even digit or a odd digit, okay. So if it is an even digit, we want to add one to it. If it is a odd digit, we want to reduce, okay, we want to reduce one to it, okay. So that will be the actual question. So now, okay, 1 minute, kindly wait for 1 minute, okay. Okay, fine. So let me just go up with the Excel sheet and show you what will be the logic for this particular program. Okay, so now I think we can just move on with the logical part. So as per this question, our number will be given, right? So here I can say that even or odd. So let us make it as the question name as even or odd. So here a number will be given. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is given means. So here you want to check, okay. The first digit is number 1, right? So 1, 2, 3. First of all, we want to separate the digits and we want to check what are all the even numbers and what are all the odd numbers. So if it is an odd number, we want to reduce one, okay. So if you reduce one, you will be having 0, right? In the same way, if it is an even number, you want to add one. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So here it is an odd number, so it is actually 3 minus 1 is 2. And again, if it is an even number, you want to add one, so it is 5. And here it is, since it is an odd number, you want to reduce one, so it is 4, okay. So this will be the actual answer. So let me just show you with different colors so that you can understand. So these three digits are odd digits and these two digits are even digits, okay. So the thing is that you want to just take the last digit first and you want to check whether it is a even or odd number, okay. So if it is an even number, so you can just proceed with adding one. If it is an odd digit, you want to reduce one, okay. So here you just see, in order to take the last digit, I will be using a condition like remainder equal to num mod of 10, right? So if it is num mod of 10, I can say that I can just remove my last digit, okay. So after removing my last digit, I will be checking whether my last digit, okay, whether my last digit is divisible by 2. So if it is divisible by 2, it is a even number, right? So if it is divisible by 2, it is a even number. So if it is not if it is not divisible by 2, I can say that it is a odd number. So if it is divisible by 2, I want to add 1. Since it is an even number, I want to add 1 with it. And in the same way, if it is not a even number, I want to reduce one, right? So in the else condition, I will be writing I want to just reduce one. So remainder equal to remainder minus one. So here I just reduce my number and I want to just make my number in a way that I want to just print it in the same way, right? So in order to print it, I will make a method called reverse. Okay, so here comes the reverse method. So if you want to reverse a number, for example, if I take a number 5, okay, here I'm just taking number 5. So my remainder value is also 5. So here, since it is an odd number, it comes over here and 4 will be my remainder value now. So I will store the remainder value in a variable called reverse. Okay, so this reverse is nothing but there is a formula to reverse a number, which is reverse into 10 plus the remainder value. You may have a doubt why I'm just using this formula. You just watch it carefully. So here, initially my reverse value will be equal to 0. Okay, so initially my reverse value will be equal to 0. So here when I just go with the first iteration, my reverse, what will be my reverse value then? So reverse equal to 0 into 10. Okay, so 0 into 10. 1 minute. Okay, so 0 into 10, and my present remainder value is actually 4, right? So 0 into 10 plus 4, which gives you the value as 4. So my present reverse value will be equal to 4 now. So after doing all this, I will be going up. Okay, I will be going up. So I will be going up and just go with the number as 4. Okay, so here I want to make another condition that I want to divide my number with 10, right? So in order to neglect my last, so here the next iteration I will be having 4. My remainder value is 4. Since 4 is an even number, this condition will not be satisfied, and this condition will be satisfied. So my number value will be equal to 5. So since it is equal to 5, it comes over here and goes to the reverse formula. So in this reverse formula, you just see my present reverse value is actually 4, right? So since my present reverse value is actually 4, so 4 into 10, okay, 4 into 10 plus 5. So totally it will be equal to 45. Okay. So my present reverse value will be equal to 45. In the same way, when you just go over here, so it is actually 3. So 3 will come over here. Since 3 is an odd number, this condition will not be satisfied. So here it comes over here and it will be transformed as 2. Okay. So now my reverse value is actually 45, right? So 45 into 10 plus 2. Okay, 45 into 10 is actually 450, right? So 452 will be my answer. So here my reverse present value is actually 452. In the same way, when you just go up with the next digit is actually 2. 2 is an even number, right? So since 2 is an even number, one number will be get incremented. And now my reverse value is actually 452. 452 into 10 plus 3. So total is actually 4005, sorry, 4523, right? So my present reverse value is 4523. In the same way, when you just go up with the number 1, so 1, so here comes 1. So 1 is an odd digit, right? So 1 is an odd digit, it comes over here, so it transforms as 0. So since it is 0, if it is comes over here, already my value is actually 4253 into 10, right? So into 10 plus 0. So there will be no, okay, so there will be no, actually there will be no value. My remainder value, sorry, reverse value remains the same. The next thing is that the actual output we are getting now. So the actual output we are now getting is 4523, right? So 45230. Okay, so here we will be having 0, 45230. So when you just compare with this output with the output we want to get, it is actually reversed, right? So since it is actually reversed, we can use the same formula to reverse the function. Okay, so in order to reverse it, what we can do? We can do the same process using this formula. When you do it, you can straight away get the answer as 0. Okay, 3254. Okay, so that will be the logic for this particular program. Okay, here comes, we are just getting the number as a reversed way, and in order to reverse this, we are using the same function. Okay, so that is the logic of this particular program. So I think we can just proceed with the programming part so that you can understand very clearly. Okay, so let me just move on with the coding part. 1 minute. Okay, so now let us just proceed with the program. So I'm going to include my header file, and then it is enough when you just use main function alone. So for this, I need totally 4 variables. So first of all, I need a number in order to get it from the user. So I use scanf statement to get the input from the user. Okay, so after getting this, I will be using my while loop. So to check whether my given number is not equal to 0. Okay, so now let me just go up with a reminder. Okay, taking my reminder value. So in order to take my reminder value, I can use a mod of 10, right? So after taking this, I will be checking whether my reminder value is divisible by 2 or not. Okay, so if it is divisible by 2, I can say that my remainder value is an even number. So if it is an even number, I want to add 1, right? So that is the given condition for this question. So if it is not an even number, I can just reduce one number, okay, from the remainder value. After then, okay, so after then I can say if, okay, so I want to reverse my value, right? So that will be the formula which I'm going to use over here. So if I just use like this, I can just reverse my values. So here, yes, so after storing this, I want to just divide my number with 10 in order to calculate my last digit. So this is actually number forming in a reverse, right? So number forming, so I can say that it is number forming, and this is for neglecting. Okay, so neglecting last digit, and this statement is for finding odd or even. Okay, so in order to find it is an odd or even number, we are using this condition. Okay, so this number is to take the last digit, it means the remainder. So totally we have done it. And after doing this, when I just print this, okay, so when I just print this, you just see what is going to happen. We will be getting the answer in a reverse order. So I'm just going to make this print. Okay, so if I just print this, you just see what is the actual answer we are going to get. So let me run this program and show you what will be the output. Oh, sorry, I want to declare the variable, right? So reverse is actually equal to 0, and also reminder. So when I just run this program, so you just see what is the actual output I'm just going to get. So the actual input they have given us 1 minute. Let me see the input. Okay, fine. So let me just put the input value. So the input they have given is 245567. Okay, so this will be the input. So my actual output will be 354476, but I will be getting my answer in a reverse order. Okay, so we are just getting in a reverse order, right? So 674453. So it is a reverse order. So as I said before, we have just reversed the number. In order to reverse the number again, we can use the same function. Okay, so this is the thing I want to just convey you. So if you want to reverse the number, you can use a function called reverse. Okay, so you can just make this particular statement as a function also if you need, but if there is time, you can just make it in this way also. Okay, I'm just going to make another while loop which is called as reverse. Here I'm just going to use my reverse value. Okay, so for this I will be again just going up with my reminder. Reminder will be equal to reverse mod of 10. Okay, so reverse mod of 10, and after 10 I'm just going to go up. Since my number value is now 0, why? Because when you just go up with this while statement, at last you will be getting 0, and when this 0 is compared with this only, this condition does not satisfy and comes out of the loop, right? So my num present value will be equal to 0, so I can use that and make the change over here. So it will be again, okay, so num into 10 plus my reminder value again. So when I just use the same statement now, I can straight away get the reverse of a number. Okay, so when I just go up with the same statement, and after this I will be printing my num value. Okay, so when I just print my num value now, I can get the same. Okay, I can get the expected output. Okay, so let me run this program again. Okay, so when I just run this program again, so let us check what is the actual output we are going to get. Okay, so the input they have given is 3544, sorry, it is 25447, it seems, right? So when you just do this, we are getting 345576. Okay, so this will be my actual output. Okay, so I hope we have got the right output. So let us check with another input. And so Deepak is giving me, sir, check with, can you check with the input 54321. Okay, so let us check it. Okay, so I think 0 will be coming, right? So, okay, fine, we can just check it. So it is 54321. Okay, so here you may have a doubt why we are not getting the answer as 0, right? So since 0 is not making the value, when you just go up with reverse order, we are not getting 0 over here. If we need, we can just make it. Okay, the thing is that we can use a variable called place value. Okay, so we can use a variable called place value in order to check whether the given number of digits is equal to the number of digits we are going to print now. Okay, so if they both are equal, we can just go up with the answer, or else at last we can just add 0. So in order to add 0, it is nothing but you want to multiply it with 10. Okay, so when you just multiply it with 10, you can just get the last digit as 0, right? So that is on another method where we can just use that. Okay, so can you understand this? I hope Deepak asked me this question. So can you understand what I'm trying to say? You can add that, but mostly like these questions, they will not be asking you printing zeros and all. Okay, so you just try this particular program. If suppose if there is a test case where 0 is also coming, you can use that method which I just said you. Okay, so students, is there any other doubts you have? So if you have any other doubts, you can ask me, or else you just type no, sir. So if you don't have any other doubts. Okay, Rohit is not having any doubt, it seems. Okay, Deepak is also okay with that. Okay, so I hope you don't have any other doubts, it seems. So with this, we can just end the session. So from next sessions, we will be having that advanced level programming. Okay, so up to that, we have finished all the basic programs which is required for Wipro. From next section onwards, we can just move on with some advanced program. As I said before, there is 2 questions in Wipro, right? So one question will be a basic question, another question will be in an advanced level. So that up to this, I hope you don't have any other doubts. So with this, you can just go up with Wipro programming and you can just complete one program in that. Okay. So from next sessions, we can see the advanced programs also. Okay. So thank you. We can just end this session with this.
Thank you, Mr. John.
Okay. Thank you, sir.